Oh, good morning. Such a day. It's raining here in California. And Californians don't know how to drive in the rain, right? But we have a great quilt show for you. So it'll just perk you up and you'll forget about the rain. So what's really fun, this is Teresa. And this is really Teresa's show. But see, we're switching places. Aren't you excited? You have to do all the talking in just a minute.
She has to do all the sewing. I
have to do all the sewing.
Excited?
Oh, thank you, Merritt. That's perfect. So we have a stack of quilts here. It's a mix of former classes. It's some students' work, and it's Teresa's work. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to switch places.
Oh, we are?
Because this is my bad arm. But this arm works.
Well, before we start our shows, let's share a few beautiful quilts. This is Patty from last month, right?
This was from a couple of months ago. Yeah, let's go this way. I'm getting the top.
Okay.
Whoop! It's good on the back. You know how to press your seams. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that
Sacred
beautiful?
Garden, right? That's
With all of the
beautiful.
beautiful Hawaii.
Yeah.
So this is what Patty did with the summer porch. And she did like a diamond design. And I can't wait till Patty sees this.
This is beautiful.
That is beautiful. I really love it. And since the back looks so good, let's show
I know.
it.
Let's show the back. We're going to show
See?
back. Isn't it gorgeous?
She listened how to press the seams. It makes a difference, doesn't it, Patty?
You know, I noticed she did not use a let's go back in the front because you know how sometimes we just don't listen to the teacher? She did not put her cornerstones on it.
I tried.
It broke it up too much.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful. I'm just kidding, Patty. It looks beautiful.
Well, this is the way I feel. I work so hard writing my patterns and getting everything right. And you take the pattern and you do what you want to do anyways. So that's fine. Right? You do.
So guess why? That's why I'm not teaching one of her patterns, so she doesn't see I change it too much.
Should we give this back to Patty
Yeah,
or
we
just
can
keep
give
it?
that back to Patty.
All right, good one. And
I choose, this is just starting one of our patterns that we done before.
maybe if you show it to Eric, or I'll show it to Eric and you talk forward.
Okay, that pattern, it seems to really draw to basket weaves, I think. I at least had made 3 or 4 in the past 2 or 3 years, you know? And I think it's just so relaxing just to, after you cut all these little pieces, and it's jelly roll friendly. And I seem to grab to that. I had about 3 or 4, but I gave them all away to my nieces and nephews a couple of years ago for graduation. Then I had to call my good friend Gail and say, can I borrow your quilt?
All right, so this is Gail's quilt.
This is Gail's quilt.
Let's see if she matched her seams.
No.
Whoa, look.
This is for that. See, it's just we call basket weave, you know. And I wanted to show you, see, I always admire her baskets. She made her basket. See how gorgeous that is?
Oh, you made it.
Yes. And see how it can relate to that? Yep. It's just so beautiful in her. Look, it's matching everything. And I don't know, I just like the weave through it. You know,
the weave.
So,
Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, Gail.
So do we have to give it back to Gail?
Sure, please.
Okay. Oh, darn. You know, we could collect these things. It would be really cool.
And when that's said, we will show what we're going to teach today. You know, notice how Eleanor says it's Teresa's show, but it's our show because she always says we. So I'm going to say we, and I'm going to make sure that she sews, right?
I'm like a nurse. Are we okay today? Yes, we're okay.
And this is the quilt that we did.
So great.
We did? You did it. All by yourself.
I think my husband's going to like this quilt.
Oh, good.
I I really like that, again, the whip, but after I put it in on the bed, I really liked it this way. Can you go that way?
Okay.
There you go. I just like to put it in my bed that way.
Why is that?
You see, I don't know. I feel like if you see girls' basket is weaving this way, but you can weave it up and down too. But I just like my roads this way, you know. But it's either way.
Really
Okay.
nice.
The fun thing about this quilt, believe it or not, is only one block, but it has block
Ooh.
A, block B, C, and D. And the only difference, let's go back to that because I have to show that corner. That's all right.
Okay.
There. The only, and we're going to have to show maybe, or I can do it. This is the block right here. That's block A, right in
Eddie's
here in
on
the
it.
corner. See it?
Okay.
And then after this block A, this is block B. And going down, they're all 10 of them is the B block.
They're all the same.
Okay? So the only difference again between the A block and the B block is that A block has a gray 6.5-inch strip here on top, and the B has your other color lighter ground. And then you repeat it again. This is another one, so you do it
And again.
and again and again, 10
and
times.
again.
Okay? Now,
And now go, oh.
now the C block, it is right in here. Right here.
Ah.
You see it, right? In here, and is the repeat of this one. This is gray and gray here, but this is your second color right here and here. And all this background is the same, okay? And we will walk you through, but I just wanted to make it clear. And this is the C that has gray, that you make one like that. That is your gray on top. And then here is again the D block with just your light background on top, okay? And then you do 10 of those, okay? And then you continue with your next color and so on, okay? And it's just however you want to put your colors. I can suggest that we just put all my turquoise, all my corals, greens, and so on, you know, together, and you just repeat and go on and on and on, okay?
So maybe when we go to the table, you could just show the one block, the single block, not sewn together, and just lay it out on the table.
Okay,
We'll
sounds
keep
good.
on going.
All right, sounds good.
And don't ask me to hang this.
Okay, I won't ask you. You can just put it on the table.
How
Okay.
did you decide which order to put the color?
Okay,
Just-
Brenda says, how do you decide which way to put the colors?
I kept playing with the colors. And
You
how
play.
I kept putting it back and forth. Well, no, do I want the green here? Do I want mixed there? I want this. So I just kept going back and forth, you know? So, and then that's the very first thing you would do. Go 1 through 17, and you need 2 strips of each, you know? And this particular jelly roll has 2 strips of each. Okay, so you just go back and forth until you're happy with the order of it, and you just label 1 through 17.
She's
Now-
got all of them in her box. I know she's going to show you. We planned it yesterday.
This one, you might find it odd. It was 3 colors, but I kept running out of fabric. I didn't see the yardage. I thought I was making 1, but then in purpose, I put the orange on the outside so you can see that is the pattern right there. And honestly, I never finished it because I said, well, this does not look balanced. So I got to put orange on these 2 sides so it balances my quilt. you know. But this is how the pattern is. In the back of your pattern, it tells you 3 colors. And 3, the blues that I have, like one color that I have just different. I kept going to my counters because I didn't have more, and I kept pulling another green and another green that I needed. But yeah, so the yellow and greens and blues that I have. And then the orange, I just wanted it, see, because that's the thing that threw me off. The very first, gray one, the very first how they started with it, just kept throwing me off. And I just kept saying, I'm going to do this. Then when I decided to do, the only thing I changed, her instructions are good, but when she's told me to cut some like 400 and some of some kind of squares, I said, we're not going to do this. How can we do this? And then the other thing I did is the pressing. And I'm very happy to tell you that as long as we just press a certain direction, and it's in that sheet that tells you all that, and everything locks. And it basically your H's and C's are pressed certain direction, but all your other ones, the B's and D's, every other one. And I will show you in a smaller quilt.
Okay.
Good. All right.
And
So-
the last one is Dana's. Woo! And Dana did it yesterday. Oh. Quilt in a day.
Yes. And it is very excited to see this because that's how I cut just a few strips to show you. It's like a baby one. And then
Isn't it cute?
and she added, did I have that right, the top? No, this is the top.
The little rows.
This, she added this piece right here, this row here,
And the bottom
and
row.
the bottom row right here to make it look balanced. Okay? Just added something. Like you said, I did that orange just on purpose to see how it looked like it needed something on the other side.
Okay, Dana, you have to jump up, stand beside your quilt, and smile.
And
I
I
always
love that
say,
quilting.
people always dress
job.
like their quilt.
Yeah.
Gray sweater, and look at the color of her iPhone.
Peachy.
Yes, nicely.
That's beautiful, and you get to keep your quilt too, huh?
Are you going to show the designer?
Yes, I'm going to show you the picture, and you hand me the pattern. Ooh, we're going to sew. So the pattern is made by Krista Watson, and this is a picture of her. She is actually a designer for Benartex, and we have both met Krista, and she is such a fun girl. She's young, and the first time I met her, this is what she said: Eleanor, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. But she's doing a lot of patterns and really having a great time. And I have to tell you, the last time we saw Krista, we were going to a Benartex dinner. Benartex's fabric. I was extremely tired. I said, you know, she's really a good talker. Faster than me. I said, Teresa, I'm so tired. I'm going to sit beside Krista so she'll do all the talking.
And she did.
She
did. And she did all the talking. I wanted to tell her how I was going to teach this class. I never got around to because she was talking. And Eleanor is like, oh my gosh, yes.
That's fun.
Very excited to work with Eleanor and so on. This is the pattern.
Yes, cool.
Okay.
Good, thank you, Eric.
And I will show you what you have and tell you what we done on it.
Color weave.
Color wave it is. This is what you have, okay? And this is your little handout. I didn't do much. It's just general instructions because I did follow the pattern, except that what I did, and as we go, we will explain them to you. And you should have something that looks like this.
Okay, put it down for Eric to show.
There we go. You think Eric can see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Then,
flip
then flip it.
Flip.
There is 3 jelly rolls.
3 jelly rolls.
Okay. And
So does the pattern say to just use 3 jelly rolls?
it says to use. Let's go and look the pattern. See, I'm very good when I teach. I say, oh, why can't we see the pattern? What
I
it
know.
says.
She says, read the pattern.
It says to use a light gray fabric and a dark gray fabric, and it tells you how much you need of it. You know, I go ahead and had Martha cut a jelly roll complete of each of these, which is 40 strips on your backgrounds. Okay, so you didn't have to. And that jelly roll, it just came as it was from the company. Okay, which from your jelly roll is what you're gonna need to cut. As soon as I start laying it up, I'm gonna show you. This is from 1 through 17 colors that you're going to paste your sheet, or you can follow my colors. However, look what I did myself after I decided what I was going to do. I went from my turquoise in colors, and I decided just to put it in my salvage pieces all the way out, because every time I put labels, I seem to lose the label. So lately, I just been putting with a Sharpie a number on the salvage of my piece, and so on. Okay, there you go. That's that.
There's your colors, Brenda. Just copy Teresa's, it'll be easier.
And then to make it easier on you, you know how I have to organize myself. That's kind of like my title, I think. I go ahead and organize everything I needed. This is my leftovers. Yes, yes. Okay. I separated 13 of these, the dark one, 13 here and 13 here. And then this is the smaller one. Let me double check.
13?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 13, so you're going to sew all these together. But I recommend, it's getting kind of boring doing the same thing over and over. So I recommend that you start with 4 of each, you know, and do your step like this. See, I didn't have, I decided not to sew the,
I
sew
thought
this
I
for
was
Elle.
going to do all 13.
You will this afternoon. So this is basically, this is what you're going to do. And then you're going to cut it into 2.5 segments, okay? The pattern tells you right in your step, on page 4, a Speedy sewing option. And I said, well, what's the Speedy sewing? Because right there is, I'm supposed to have 2.5-inch squares. I said, well, that's a lot of work there to cut all those squares. So right there, what I see, I cut strips, and I just divided what I needed to, and I needed 13 strips of each right here. Do you see what I did? I'm sorry if it's too little, but I just put it right on top of my my colors there. And then see, then I just press out, and I put a little text to go that you're gonna press out, okay? That's for that one.
Okay, so you press your seams toward the dark.
At this time,
Toward the dark.
okay? Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay, and then these other little pile of grays are 8 of them. That's my binding, so I put it in the very bottom because I'm not gonna need that for a while. And all these extra here are extra, okay? So I just put this pile, the ones that I rejected from the jelly roll, okay? There. I just want to show that's extra because I'm putting it in the
You
bottom.
want me to take them?
Yeah, that's extra. So I
So
don't,
you don't have
give
to
it to
think
me.
about it.
No. And this is my
Don't
binding.
think about it.
Okay. And then our page, then I give you here, it tells you from your light gray that you need 22 strips of 2.5. And from those 22 strips, you're gonna cut 90. 2.5 by 6.5. Again, just start with a few of them, like 4 of them, okay? But I just show you right here, from your light gray, you're going to cut 92.5 by 6.5, and then 99, 2.5.
Martha.
Thanks for the strips, right? Okay. Yeah. And then this is the one that I already put in here for you. That's that you 13 2.5-inch strips. Okay. And here in your gray and your dark grays, from the 4 2.5-inch strips, you're going to cut 9 2.5 by 6.5. Okay. Flip your page. And then you're going to cut 11 2.5 by 4.5. And then 11 2.5-inch squares. And then these 26 is the ones that I already put here, 13 in each pile. And 8 is your binding, okay?
Okay.
If it's just very little, so, okay.
Okay, so what color are you cutting all those measurements? This one?
For both of these.
Okay.
That light gray, I'm going to use this and cut this into this. And I already put these 13 aside.
Okay.
And then from these grays, from these 4 strips, I'm going to cut 9 2.5 by 6.5.
Okay.
And 11 2.5 by 4.5.
Okay.
And so on. Okay.
Okay.
Then I will. Let's just put this aside
And are
in
you
case
gonna,
Elle gets to sew later.
Are you going to cut those now?
Yes, after I show them my color. How about that? Is that right?
I'm very impatient.
Well,
Okay.
we're almost done
I'm
there.
trying to figure it all out.
Okay. Well, let me just, I'm going to leave there my colors there. And see, that's my 1. Then I put there 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just kept it in groups of colors. That way, if you wanted to change
turn
it.
it towards Eric.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
And then that's my 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
And then this is my 9, 10, 11. And see, you don't have to do exactly 4. These had 4 strips. This had 4 strips. These only had 3 sets of the green ones, okay? And then here it is my 12, 13, 14, 15. On the 15, I'm going to have to tell you, see how close these are? I had to pair it with these because I had one of the gray ones and it didn't stand up very well with my backgrounds. So I just went on and from my leftovers, I pair the ones that look the closest to it. Okay?
What's that mean there?
What
Put
does
it
that
together.
mean? Put it together.
Oh, you mean sew it.
Sew it together because
Here.
you need 2 strips of each and I didn't have any more 2 strips of each. Okay? And then you see these, they're dark, which I think it frames really well the basket weave. That's my colors. And you are welcome to follow those colors. Can we put this aside? And there is that. And these 2, it isn't your jelly roll. Choose 2. You're going to need total of 17 colors, and that's what I have here. 17 colors, 1 through 17. 2 strips of each. Is that clear?
Okay. And
Okay.
do we have light gray? And,
You have light gray. You have a jelly. This is the kit.
but you're calling the white light gray.
I was confused on that too, Chris. So this is really the light gray, not the background. There's really a real, nope, that's
No.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
I call it light gray. They had light gray in there. It is all the same. This is dark gray and light gray. Okay. So in the very first step, like I said, you're going to start doing is you sew your strips, like 4 of them like this, your dark gray, light gray, and dark gray. And press your seams towards the dark, okay? And then cut it in sections of 2. Oh, and by the way, this is the perfect time to measure your seam allowance, okay? And look, because we're gonna use this ruler, we're gonna just go ahead, it's our log cabin ruler. Then I really like to work with a 2.5 inch in this particular project. So I am gonna go ahead and use, can we see it now? Maybe in the back of this, we can see it. We're going to
there you go.
use, I'm learning, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna use the 2.5 by 2.5, and we're gonna use the 2.5 by 4.5, and we're gonna use the 2.5 by 6.5. Okay? And that's how we're gonna cut all our strips most of the time. Okay? There we go.
Easy. And the width of this is supposed to be?
2.5.
No, the width, 1, 2, 3, how wide is it?
The width,
Ah.
and look at that, 6.5. This
It's
is when
supposed to
you can, test your 1/4 inch and make sure that you're gonna stay consistent with that all through it, okay? And the reason is because you're gonna see how we're gonna cut our colors, and it has the 2.5 and 6.5, so everything will go well with you. So let me start cutting with this, and then I will start the fruits color. That way Eleanor can start sewing.
You're not going to use the shape cut. Oh.
Well, I was going to do with this, but this is a perfect time to use my shape cut.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
You're the shape cut queen.
I love the shape cut. Okay.
See, now I'm being the assistant. Ooh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's every 2.5 inches.
Okay.
Only 2.5. Oops.
All right.
Okay, let me see. Ah. Okay. You go, girl.
Thank you. I'm going to have to start this side. You know how that is. Oh, can I move it just a little bit so this stays in the... I have to move it a little bit
Yes.
so that's inside the mat.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
had it
this is
on.
the June Taylor mat. It's every 2.5 inches. You can only cut 2.5 inches on this one. And she's left-handed. I better get out of the way.
There we go.
Whoa.
And guess what? You can do about 3 layers if you want to on this, okay? And it just goes so quickly on this. And since she had me do this, I'm going to tell you something else. Would you like?
Want me to hang it up?
Thank you. This is kind of weird, isn't it?
How much do I get for this?
A lot. You'll see at the end of the day. And since she did this for me, look what I will do. I will separate them just like this. Oops. Of course, I didn't cut this one out. Okay. So anyway, you just go back and forth. Okay? And
There you
that
go.
will be your pile. Gonna show you. Thank you. Oops. Look.
See, I thought I was the only one that did this.
Okay, let's just throw that away right now.
See?
Okay.
I'm not crazy about showing you how I screw up, but if I show you, then you feel better, right? You love it when I mess up. I love it when Teresa messes up. I thought she was perfect.
Look at this. It's not. Okay. Because you're in right here in the fruit Speedy zone, you need this. And remember how I showed you, which I will show you again a block in a minute. Then you need 2 in each side of your collar. So might as well have it right there. Okay? All right. There you go.
Don't try to think about it, just do it.
Okay, let's go to this page. And I am going to cut. Oh, okay. Where is our
The
ruler?
ruler.
The ruler here. I just going to remember we want to cut that many 90, but I only just going to go ahead and cut just a few. And this is fun with this ruler because you use almost everything with this if you wanted to. You know, if you want to just sit down and cut, then Then again, just remember that's your 6 1/2. I'm gonna cut a few 6 1/2. I'll have Elle turn them all right side up.
Okay, I can do that.
There you go.
It's my eyes.
Oh, you don't
it's-
have to do it.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
can
I'm
do
just
this.
plain. There's a 6, and then I'm gonna cut a few of 2 1/2. And we
So
will-
on this ruler, if you just remember the name, the quilt in a day is in the 2 1/2 inch end.
Mhm.
Just look for quilt in a day.
Oh, that's a very good tip, Elle. That's
Yeah.
a good tip. 'Cause
I've
I'm
used
always
that
a-
ruler before.
It is fun to just have a little ruler to work on it. Okay?
Okay, right side up.
Right side up, please. Ooh, better not put my cutter there. There you go. Okay. Okay, we should have enough of our light and a light gray.
And no 4 1/2 now? Is it time for 4
No,
1/2?
that
No?
one doesn't have 4 1/2.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
this
just
one
checking.
will. Okay,
okay.
this will. Okay, then we need some of our dark gray. We're gonna need 6 1/2. So I'm gonna cut my 6 1/2. And I have 4 layers. Oops, she told me quilting a day in the bottom. Now I know. Okay, I have 2 strips in here, so I have 4 here, okay? Then 1 more makes 8. And what I do, included with my colors, you're gonna be doing this with your colors, that's why I'm showing you this. Included, you take 1 out and then open 1 and just cut your 9 color, okay? So there is 9. And if you can put them all right side up, that would
Okay.
be great. And then I'll turn my page. Then I'm going to cut 11 4 1/2. I do the same thing. Cut the selvage and quilting a day in the bottom. Right there, and that is 2 1/2 by 4 1/2, and I need 11 of this. That is 4, right? I have 2 strips. 4, 8.
I'm gonna grab over.
Thank you. And then I flip this over and cut my 11. Okay? All right.
No little beside it. No little beside it.
And then that is 4.
Okay, I'm
8.
all right side up.
Oh,
Oops,
wow, that's good. One
Aren't I
more. You are great. Wow. I thought I was fast in cutting. Look at her. Okay.
You are fast, Teresa.
Oh, thanks. So
You're
we're
a
done.
fast lady.
We are done with our colors. Now, in order for me to lay it out and show you exactly the technique, I decided just to use 9 colors, okay? And then I was like, oh, what do I do? Because I have, see, 2 turquoise, 2 corals, I want to call salmon, 2 greens, and 2 yellows. So I decided to put a turquoise on top to frame my basket or something, okay? So this is my number 1, and I'm going in page 2, this is where I'm going to start cutting my colors, okay? Right there, your number 1, it tells you to cut from one of the strips to cut 6 2 1/2 by 6 1/2, and from the second strip you cut 5 2 1/2 by 6 1/2. I was reading that, I'm not used to that writing, so I say, what does she mean? Yeah, so, because I'm not used to that. The writing for me has to be basic because if it throws me off, I'm like, oh, what does she mean? Well, basically it's telling you to cut, if it's 6 and 5, basically it's telling you to cut 11, 2.5 by 6.5 from 2 strips. Okay? Got it? So you okay with that? You understand that? Okay. The next step, the number 2, is telling you from one of the strips you cut 8, 2.5 by 4.5, and 1 2.5 inch square. And then the second strip you're gonna cut 3, 2.5 by 4.5, and 10 2.5. Again, the bottom line is all that you need is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. You need 11, 2.5 for 4.5, and then you also need 11 2.5. You see it? And it repeats the same thing all the way down. Okay, so
I
that's.
wonder if Eric wanted to see this page. Did
you
you want to
want it?
see it, Eric? You
No,
got to
you were
yell
on
if
it?
you
Okay.
get a better picture.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to start with, and I hope then Eleanor can start sewing. And this is my number 1. So I'll take my number 1, and I'm going to, oh, by the way, I'm only making a small quilt, something like what Donna made. So I only need 1 strip of each. And at the end of the day, you're gonna see then I only use 9 colors like I told you, because I'm not making such a long quilt like this quilt. We cut it down to about half of it. So we are doing something with 9 colors. Okay, so it's gonna be short, so it's just gonna be 1, but you do need that many. Okay, so are you excited you're gonna get to sew? Okay, quilting a day in the bottom. There it is, and that is, and this particular one, I need my 6.5. Okay, if you turn them right side up.
Okay. You tell me when I'm sewing.
Yeah, let me just cut this one and then I'm gonna lay it out for you, okay?
Okay.
Let me, yes. That's my one, and this is the very first one that you're going to do.
Okay.
Since she wants to,
Is this
so
A?
let's lay it out. And then that is your number 1. Your
Okay.
number 1 strip, okay?
Okay.
And that's going to be your A block. So
Okay.
let's move this out of your way, and this is the 1. Let's do 1 because you're supposed to do 1 only, okay? And then
Okay.
the other ones is going to be your B's, okay?
Okay.
See right here, it tells you gray block, you make 1, and that's what she's gonna make right now, okay? Again, you know we already sewed this together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's lay it out the whole block. Can I see? Let me lay it out the whole block.
Okay.
And then you
One
have,
block.
that's
The top.
it.
Okay. Ooh.
There it is. Okay, that's
Okay.
your 8 block. For some reason, she showed the finished blocks first, then her partial blocks, and they're right here exactly what I laid for Eleanor, block A. And this is exactly what she's gonna sew right now.
Okay, so in the process, am I making a 9 patch first?
The
And
way she's showing her picture, first she makes this, but I tend to always go to my 9 patch. I call this 9 patch, even though it's not
like-
a 9 patch, okay? You can go ahead and sew these together, then these 3 sections together.
Okay, so this would be together.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to, then I'm adding this, and how do I press the seams?
This one is gonna go to the inside. To
To
your,
the inside, okay.
Yes.
And
But
then
this is the last one we're gonna do. You wanna do this section, and then we will add these 2, but it's gonna go to the top, towards your strip.
Okay.
These 6 inch. I think
Okay.
Eleanor wants to do this because she already sees it, and it makes sense because you do this, then this, but that's not how her illustration is here. But let's go ahead and do this part. Hmm?
Looking at that picture you showed us on the
We'll come. Eleanor is going to show you right now, okay? As soon as she gets to sew, okay? In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead because she's going too fast for me.
Oh,
I'm
good.
going to cut the 4.5. This is the color number 2. Okay, and the 2.5.
Okay. Okay. And this goes
Great.
on one side.
Yes,
Okay.
you're almost there. Wow.
Whenever Patty and I sew together, she's always doing fussy cuts. And
Yes,
it's a lot
she is.
easier to sew the seams than to do the fussy cuts. Okay,
Yes.
so do you want me to press these now?
Okay, this particular one you're going to, and I'm going to
Something like
show
that.
you the reason. See, this is press out.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you're going to need to press
Press
this
in. Okay.
Okay,
Press
you need to
in.
press in. And the iron should be hot, but can you want me to
And-
press it for you?
and this
And that one, you're
goes-
going to press it in.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
In. Both
Yes.
in. Okay.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
let me press this for you.
Okay. I'm so good with finger pressing
Yeah.
with my nail, but now I realized I'm crippling my nail. I have a really funny looking little thing. Okay, there you go.
Very good.
Okay.
Show them that's how that is pressed.
In. Okay. But
And
now I
then-
want to see.
Yeah, there. See, because then when you come and sew these together, they're going to lock right here.
But you have to do
Yeah,
the-
I just want to show you how they're going to lock this, okay? That's all I wanted to show you. And yes, you sew this on top.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. Okay. Okay, this is easy so far.
Mhm.
And
That you press towards the top. Yes.
towards the top.
Yes.
Okay. And this one is going to flip,
Yes.
and this is going to lock,
Yes.
and there's nothing to lock there.
Right.
Okay, so if you sew from the bottom up, everything will lay flat.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Brenda, I heard you sighing. That wasn't good. Huh?
I'm still thinking about this pressing.
Don't worry, you can have mine to look at.
Okay.
But I will tell you one thing. Getting that to lock, you do have to be careful because I know mine isn't going to look like Dana's. I got that feeling. Let me see. Can I look first?
Yeah.
Ooh! See, I knew that was going to be bad. Okay, so it's easier. Okay, have to unsew.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to.
Which
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, put your finger there. It's perfect. And that's your A block. You know, let's
And
just
it's
keep
perfect.
the finger there. And then that's your A block, and you're going to press out. Okay? And I can show you a finished one. Hey, how about you show this one? That's your A block.
Yeah, look how good.
You see?
See? Good.
Got it?
So I
Turn-
caution you, be careful there.
Turn it over and show them in the back, and that's how it's supposed to be your little block.
Okay.
Now, let's put this. Oh, she wants to see the reverse.
in, out, in, out.
Okay.
Start with in, out, in, out.
Okay, that's her A block that they call it. And look her
Okay.
B, and we don't have to sew right now if you don't want to, I just want to lay it out. This your
Okay.
B blocks is telling you, and I want to have it so they can see here and that. That is your B block, and that is telling you to make your B block, and you need
The
10 of
center.
them. See it? And the only difference between your B block, it is this top strip here. This is dark and this is lighter gray. Okay? And you're
Okay.
gonna make 10 of those.
Do you
Okay.
have a whole row now done?
I do. Do you wanna see it?
Do you want to see it?
Okay, since you asked, let me show you what I'm gonna do. And you keep your A on top of your B's because they're all gonna go down. And see, this is your A block. Close attention to. Since I press this, the very last seam, I press them out. When this last seam and this one, I press it in. See, so things gonna lock for you. See, then the next one, I press it out. So this seam's going to lock on you, okay? And these ones, they're going to go on top. They don't need to be that way, see? In and out. And that's why I told you when you D blocks and B blocks, press half in and half out, your last step here.
So if they would just do one color at a time once they get going, that is a lot of assembly line.
Yes.
So
Because-
don't get mixed up.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is just the first color. The next one is going to be your B block that you're gonna make, you know.
This one.
Excuse me, yeah, this is your B block that you're gonna make, that I already showed you here,
Okay.
you know. And then the next one that you're going to make, you're gonna make your C block, which is with 2 colors, and you're gonna be cutting with these next two colors. Would you like to see that? And then you
Well,
can continue
Can
to
you
sew.
can you just lay this row out like over there or on the
Should
board
I?
or something like that?
Where do you think this will be best?
That's the A, and this is B,
And so on.
B.
And it's not long enough. And you just
B.
keep going all the way down until you have that.
And
Okay?
the seams are alternating.
Okay.
Innies and outies.
Do you have any questions before we break or so? Do you think you understand the C and D? But it's, instead of you sewing it little squares, you sew a strip. Remember? You said, and then you cut it into, and then you pressing it out.
2.5 inch.
Okay? And then right here, because you follow your pictures, because they just lay it out right here, you're that right here in number 2, you press that towards your background, your light color, light gray. And right here, you're going to press it in, like Eleanor showed you. It's up there. You press it in. Oops, I'll get it later. And then you're going to press right here. You're going to press out and press out. Yeah, it's the pressing. Then I had the illustration. I say, those illustrations right there. Then I tell you on page 4 and how to press. That's the only thing I did differently. So you didn't have to open all your seams and do 500 and some of these little strips. Okay? We are back.
Yeah!
So who has a road finish or so?
Oh, Jamie, you're at it again.
Great, great.
Whoa, was it easy?
Yeah.
It was.
It was easy. One.
I even finished my row.
Yes. It's right there on it.
And I got really good at locking my seams, so there.
There we go.
I just figured out how to do it.
Mhm.
I had on the top side, I had the seam that was going up, and it just slammed right into the second one. So it worked. It was better.
See? And there you go. She has all her pieces ready to cut to make her little baby quilt here.
Yes,
Okay?
okay,
Then
that's
see,
mine
you
now.
made one row there, and you can
Okay.
see there how are all done here. Basically, that's your A block, and this is just the round side so you can see your seams, you know. And that's your A, and all these are your B blocks, and like your pattern. And then here, like I said, your very last seam, you just press one in and one out, and they're gonna lock for you.
In and out.
In and out, in and out. Okay, all the way down. And then after this, the only difference is you're still going to do a 4.5 and 2.5 color. Right now he have gray, but then all the next rows you're going to do color. That's your number 2 because this is your number 1.
So this is actually your outside row.
This is the outside row
Gray.
all the way down, A and B, okay? Then after that you're going to do your C block. Is going to be with color here, which will be your number 2, color number 2, and then in this block will be number 3. And I will show you right here how have finished, how great they were here. That
Okay.
is your C block,
that's
and
a
it's
color.
the same, it's color, see it? There. And then
And then another color.
the rest of them are your D blocks.
Color, 2 colors.
Okay. There
2
you go.
colors.
Okay.
Okay, Teresa.
And that's how she has it all lined up on the table for herself.
Notice how she's a we, you know, she.
There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Then can you give me the other pile?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
There.
So that one, and now this is another one with the 2 colors.
Yeah.
And you have the first
This-
one. That's the outside
This
edge.
is the C that goes on top because it has gray.
Okay,
You
it's
see it right there?
whole.
And then again, that's the 4.5, the 2.5, and then your next color. Okay?
And this keeps on going down.
I think.
Oh.
This is C block and this is D blocks. These are all D blocks. Okay? D.
Okay.
Okay?
Kind of looks like, okay.
Except the top has the dark gray. It's your C block. You make one of C blocks on
The
every
outside
row.
edge.
Uh-huh. Okay, do you want to see more?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
keep on going.
Okay, so there we
Next
go.
color.
That's the C with the dark there, and the only difference again, that is your D all the way
Okay.
down. You get it?
Yes.
All right, that's great.
Okay, so now Teresa,
Yes.
if the side is all gray and the top is all gray with the color, then what about the bottom? Are you
It
gonna?
finished like this, but like Diana said, she added another color in gray on it. Do you remember how I showed you my
across the bottom.
blue with the orange, how it felt not balanced? So you just added to, it was the top and left. Well, from the right and bottom, you just can either add it the same grade on those sides if you don't want to put another square in there.
I'm
and that
looking
will
at
balance it
Dana
out.
to see if she's got it on her lap.
There you go. There is your C, and that is a perfect, You know, the fun thing about
That's
it
pretty.
is
I
that she
like the
made
turquoise.
exactly the same size without us even talking about it. This is the size she made, has a baby quilt, and this is what I had already ready for the baby quilt. And yeah,
In one day.
And in one day, once you get it, you know what it is, right? I think that it was just the beginning. They would say, well, if they're all the same, why? That's just because in the beginning we had the gray and we just couldn't see it happening.
So I like what Teresa did. She took her Post-its and she just boxed off this smaller quilt. And then it looks like she wrote everything down. So she was all organized. But that looks really cool. So you could just box off any size you want to make, bigger or smaller. That's good.
Well, see, there
It
you
looks
go.
really cool.
I hope you enjoy making your quilt and
So-
with all these pieces.
Are you going to explain these pieces?
These pieces is this is for the number 2, right in there. I'm sorry.
Okay, do you want me to point?
Yes, that one.
Here?
See, is just this is the colors that gonna go
This
there.
one, this,
Uh-huh.
and then
uh-huh.
this.
And if you really want me to put it together, let's see so they can visual right there.
And then I see she's got the next
Let
one.
me just put one in there so they can
Okay.
see. There. Okay. Oopsie, I almost done it the other way.
Oops.
Oops. Then you put that there. And then for your C block, you have your grade on top. You
Because
make
that's the
one.
top outside.
Uh-huh. And then for your D blocks, you make 10 that way. Okay?
Going down.
You see, going down. Okay?
Only 1 and then 10.
Yes.
1 and 10.
And so on. And that's how it goes all the way.
So then this one, this
Then-
is the next one here.
That is, there we go. And I ran out of these pieces,
And
but
then
I
a
will show.
long green.
Okay. There we go. Can you see the green on green?
Then the 4.5 and the 2.5.
For 4.5.
Oh, the
you said-
green.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of
And then
moving
this
along
is your
here.
C. This is your C one. But then after you make one of C, then you make 10 with your light gray, the same, all the way down, and so on. Then I have 2 more, see? So
You're running
there we
out.
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across for baby. Okay? 5 across and 6 down for a baby. That's what I did. And you get it with 1 strip instead of 2 strips of each. So it's basically 9 colors. Well, hope you have lots of fun.
Wow, thank you, Teresa.
You're welcome.